souls, I'm Mommy on a Journey and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time coming across this channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you're interested in personal development, healthy plant-based eating, or just anything in between, stick around and subscribe because that's what this channel is about. So today's video, we're going to be talking about self-love. So I feel like this is going to be sort of like a reference point to where we started, and it's going to serve as an introduction to self-love to this channel because we're going to talk a lot about self-love. So in this particular video, I'm going to mention 5 signs that you're walking in self-hate, 5 signs that you're walking in self-love, and sort of like transitioning in between. So if you're interested, stick around. So I feel that we are so conditioned by society that we've developed so much self-hate. I mean, I saw this meme the other day that is so accurate. It's one of these dialogues where it says, society, just be yourself, and then me being myself. And then society's like, no, not like that. And I feel that just depicts it so accurately. Society has gotten to a point where it focuses so much on our imperfections that it magnifies them and makes them so negative, and that we solely focus on that and we end up developing so much self-hate. And I feel that we really could do much better. So this is why I feel that let me share signs of self-hate and signs of self-love, and you can sort of figure out where you stand. I know for me personally, I'm sort of transitioning from self-hate to self-love. I'm not quite at self-love and I'm not at self-hate either, so I'm kind of in between. So that's why I decided to share this video today. Okay, so before we get into the signs, let me just quickly explain self-love and define it according to what I believe self-love is. So self-love in essence is the love of oneself. So you considering your own well-being and happiness and taking care of yourself, and also not sacrificing yourself to please others, you know. So that's in essence self-love. But let's not confuse it with narcissism or being selfish, because that's something completely different. That's more of you are extremely interested in yourself and you are self-absorbed and you're quite selfish and you lack empathy. You know, that's something completely different. And self-love and this different. So now let's get to the signs. These are the signs of self-hate. Firstly, you have low self-esteem. Secondly, you're a people's pleaser. Third, you self-sabotage. Fourth, you have toxic traits. Lastly, you have negative thoughts, or you have a negative thought processing. So sometimes these signs are not so clear. You can't see them. They mask themselves and behind a lot of other things, and you can't really identify them. So I'm going to give you a few examples to help you identify them in your lives. I'm generally a very confident person, so I didn't think I had low self-esteem. So I saw this when public speaking had to happen in school and in general life, you know. So usually I'm always that person that I just don't volunteer myself. I'm not the type of person to like, oh hey, I'll do that, even though I know I can, but I'm just like, I always sit in the back. And I always thought, no man, it's one of those things. I mean, I don't like the public place. I made excuses, or no, it's because of this and it's because of that. But deep down I knew that technically when I have to speak up in public, I always think, ooh, no, but I don't think I'm good enough. I don't feel like I have enough information. I feel like who am I? I'm not expert in this, or such things would happen, you know. And later on I started to realize that actually this is having a low self-esteem. You don't believe in yourself that you can do a certain thing, so you kind of mask it around. You give yourself excuses, you understand? So another example, I'm going to mix a bit of self-sabotage, low self-esteem, and negative thought processes. So you have this great idea, right? So you want to do this thing and you start thinking about it. Here comes a time you have to do it now. And you start criticizing yourself, you know. You tell yourself all these things you basically criticize yourself so much that you get to a point that you no longer do the thing that you wanted to do. So you end up self-sabotaging yourself, and most of the time it's linked with low self-esteem, because you might say stuff like, oh no, you're not an expert in that, who are you to talk about that, or who are you to go do that thing, you understand? So that's also another sign of self-hate. And then lastly, I'm going to make an example of a toxic trait. So for me, I didn't really think of it as a toxic trait until I actually sat down and was like, this is actually a toxic trait. So for me, I was quite a people's pleaser, you understand? And it's also mixed with a toxic trait because I would sacrifice myself and my well-being for others, you understand? And most of the time it's masked in a way that, oh no, but you're being selfless, it's a good thing. Or, oh, you're doing good for others, you have such a kind heart, you're so caring, you're so compassionate, and you feel like, okay, it's fine, I can do what I'm doing because I'm doing so much for other people. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to be compassionate, it's okay to be kind, it's okay to be there for other people and do things for other people, but not at your expense. Once it starts crossing over to your expense, then it's now self-hate. You are now sacrificing yourself for the benefit of others. You understand? Now you're walking in self-hate, you see. So that's a toxic trait as well. So what you need to do, yes, help others, yes, be compassionate, yes, be there, but also take time for yourself. Make sure that it doesn't cross that line where you are now hurting yourself. You are now not treating yourself well just because you want to help someone else. Now that's a toxic trait, and I did not know this. And these are the signs of self-love. Firstly, you have healthy boundaries. So you have healthy boundaries between you and other people, and you have healthy boundaries between you and yourself as well. There's certain things that you know, I don't cross this because I know when I go on the other side, it's not so good for me, you understand? And then with other people that you don't like crossing these boundaries. Secondly, you have healthy routines and healthy habits. These are things that you know that when you do these things, they bring out the best in you and you are more productive and you just feel good when you do these things. So for example, this could be, you know that when you eat healthy, you feel good, you look good, you're just vibrant, you know. So that's what you keep doing. And let's say when you exercise, you feel the same way. Or some things can be, maybe you know during the week you don't drink at all, you only drink in the weekends, and you know that helps you focus in the week and then gives you something to look forward to, and that leads to a productive week. Or you decide, you know what, I don't want to drink at all. That could also be a thing that you want to do. Or it could be that you give yourself in a day, maybe once a day or once a week, up to you, you'll give yourself time to yourself, and you know that brings out the best in you. So such things, you have healthy routines, you have healthy habits. And thirdly, you have healthy thoughts of yourself. So when you think about yourself, you think of yourself in a positive light. And when you think about yourself, you think compassionately. When you have thoughts of yourself, you are more kind to yourself, you speak to yourself kindly, and all of that. And sometimes it may happen that maybe you face a certain situation and automatically you are like, oh yeah, I'm like this, I can't, that you criticize yourself. Now you need to direct that and think of yourself more positively and try and motivate yourself. Oh yeah, I can do this. And also, don't be one of those super you hype yourself up unnecessarily or falsely, you understand? So be realistic about it. Okay, these are my flaws, these are my weaknesses, I can't this, I can't that. So because I can't that, let me rather practice this, or let me learn this, or teach yourself this, or read about that or that, to build yourself up so that you can now move towards, oh yeah, I know I can do it because I read this, I know I can do this because I've been practicing, or I know I can do this, you understand? So more of that type of thought processing. So fourthly, be mindful of yourself. I know I preach this a lot, but it's really important. You need to be mindful of yourself. So in this instance, it's knowing your needs versus knowing what you want. So this is important and a form of self-love, because sometimes you have to walk away from certain things that you want to get the stuff that you need, you understand? So let me make an example, very simple. Let's say today you feel like, oh, today would be nice to have a nice bottle of wine. And you know that when you have a bottle of wine, tomorrow, yes, today it's very fun and exciting and you feel good, but you know that tomorrow you're gonna feel horrible, and you have that project that you want to do tomorrow, or you have that meeting that you have to attend to tomorrow, or it just, yeah, it will just mess up the rest of your week and you won't be productive for the rest of the week. So you kind of have to think, okay, walk away from this bottle, you'll reward yourself on Friday, or I'll see it on Saturday or whatever, but let me just focus on this and be centered, be strong, and be focused. And then I'll get to that another time, you understand? The moment you are able to withhold and walk away from something that you want for the bigger picture or for something that you need, that's when you know you are practicing self-love. The last sign of self-love is protecting yourself. So this requires you to be mindful as well. So you need to be mindful of yourself, mindful of others, and mindful of yourself in relation to others. So this is quite important because it also goes hand in hand with setting boundaries. So for example, you need to know what is harmful to you, whether it's self-inflicted or inflicted by others. So once you know that, you need to know how to protect yourself from that. So you need to know how to set boundaries or how to do something to prevent that thing from happening. And also you need to be aware where to set those boundaries and all of that, you see. So this can also be in a sense where you have to do something that you don't want to do. Being able to say no, that's a sign of protecting yourself. And that's also being mindful and also showing yourself love, that you really don't want to do this, so you can say no. It's something that you're not even obligated to do, you understand? So stuff like that can also be an example of protecting yourself. So they come in many shapes and forms. All you need to do is just be aware. So these are the signs that I observed in my life personally. So I hope they help you and you are able to identify signs of self-hate and self-love in your life. I know I'm transitioning between the two, but I'm moving closer towards the self-love. So I hope that's the same for you guys, or you guys are already by the self-love side. But all the best in identifying these and trying to love yourself as best as you can and learning more about yourself. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video finds you well. Please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let me know what signs that you see in your life that I have maybe not mentioned today. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Bye.